Hey everyone, welcome to Kiss Corner. I'm RT Bear, and this is where we have 4 wacky people talking about Kiss for around an hour or so. So, without further ado, we have Kevin. Kevin, how you been?
I'm doing much better, thank you. Thanks very much. How are you guys?
Good, good. Kevin's been sick if you guys haven't been listening to Kiss Corner. And last week he was a trooper. He was, you could barely stand up or sit down, right?
Oh, yeah, stand up. Yeah, I was bedridden for a few days.
Oh, God.
He crawled his way over to the microphone and gave you guys a hell of a performance because Kevin is a professional.
That's right, damn it.
Kevin doesn't mess around. And we have the star of the show. We have Scott back.
Hello.
Yeah, how you been, Scott?
I'm good. I think I'm getting. I don't think I'm as bad as Kevin, but I think I have a little bit of a cold. I think everybody, just this weather. Just it's cold here, even in California. Just you know, I'm sure it's cold up there on Bear Mountain.
Yes,
it's so cold in California.
I was gonna say, Kevin, that's the last person, right?
Well, hey, Kevin, from the studio here, when I look out the window, I can see Mount Baldy, and it's covered with snow. So it does snow here.
Yeah,
look at Kevin just laughing.
He's laughing. Kevin, I work with a guy from Buffalo, and I said that last week, how cold it's been, and he just looked at me and just in disgust.
Oh, yeah.
He just transferred. Yeah.
There's no comparison, man.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Okay, and we have the center of the program, the unsung hero of the program, which is Taylor Grosso. How you been?
The unsung hero.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? I'll be here to read your chat as we talk about this. Ray Thulu says Kevin is dedicated. He is.
He is.
That's right.
Wait. Taylor's the unsung, so now you have to.
Taylor is.
I don't know what to sing now that I'm on the spot.
The cheesy was made for loving you.
Taylor, I got to ask you, Taylor, are you in full Kiss garb right now?
No. It's coming. Coming. Now
are you just sitting in a room in full Kiss garb?
I mean, I could say that I am. You won't be able to verify until you see the video.
I'm not going to push it, you guys, because I have to work with her every day. So I'm letting her reveal the Kiss makeup on her own, her own time.
It's gonna happen. I know that this Peter Criss got the top votes, so you don't have to remind me.
Top vote.
You were hoping for Paul Stanley because that's the easiest makeup to do.
I was, but everybody wanted Peter Criss, so.
We want the Peter Criss from the first live album.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
The one with the crazy whiskers and everything.
Whiskers. We want Kabuki Peter Criss is what we want.
That's
no,
right.
people have to vote which Peter Criss. That's a good idea.
Because it changed. Because his makeup changed throughout the years. He had, added the green and more stuff.
I have to have the sleepy eyes.
Sleepy eyes. You gotta have the sleepy eyes.
Well, we'll pump you full of cold gin, and then you have those eyes.
Speaking of which, what's today's show about, Art?
Speaking of which,
good deflection. Yes, well, we're gonna do news, and that's gonna be Taylor. She's got some great news that she found for us, and we're going to do the review of Kiss Alive, which I imagine it's going to be nothing but a love fest here because if you guys been listening, you already know how we feel about this album.
Kiss Alive.
It's not a mystery.
Nice.
And then we're going to do a little bit of a preview for next episode. We actually, you guys, we figured out what we're going to do before the end of this show. So Scott had a really cool idea, and we're going to do it next episode. So you want to start doing some news?
Let's do it.
Wait, was that the human beatbox over there?
Human beatbox.
Is that you, Scott?
No. I wasn't.
Oh, you were too, you liar.
Human beatbox.
I heard like
the human beatbox.
Excited. Let's see.
Who is?
No.
Comic Book Bob says Art and the boys are playing and they just can't find the sound.
Can't find.
3 more hours.
Oh, Ray started it. Ray says, "Tag, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now."
Oh, you
Art
guys.
and the boys are playing.
Okay, you guys. Okay, I took one for this the team here. I went on a live stream of thousands of people and I sang Beth. Yeah. Okay, you guys. So there. I bled for the show.
I bled for the show.
It was on Ethan's program.
All right, so Kiss news.
Oh no.
This just happened. This is some wholesome news to start us off here. And on News 8, which I don't know where that is, they spun the Wheel of Misfortune. And if you don't know what the Wheel of Misfortune is, well, I'll just read the article.
What?
So in Illinois, Kiss added an extra act to their performance at the Tax Slayer Center on Sunday, March 10th, kissing crime away in the Quad Cities. That sounds really weird. So the Wheel of Misfortune is a weekly segment that aims to find wanted people in the Quad City region. It's run in partnership with Crime Stoppers. And the cops basically put on a little show here. I'm going to play a little section of it.
This thing's hilarious, you guys.
Oh no.
Yeah, cops can be funny.
Guests here today, crime is getting out I got an idea. Something started out.
It's a Kevin Conrad Kiss comic.
It is a Kevin Conrad. Oh my
awesome.
God.
This is going to be you, Taylor.
It's Tag.
They put on the makeup like the black, or if they put on the white. It's so weird.
Oh, I know. Huh.
Hey, the star's on the wrong side.
Great. Yeah, it is on. It is.
Kevin's triggered.
Oh no.
He's looking in a mirror. That's why he thinks it's on the right side. And then
Oh no.
You tried to put on Kiss makeup in the past.
Oh God. Look at these guys.
So what basically ended up happening is Gene Simmons caught wind of it and he really liked it. So they ended up giving all the guys backstage or all access passes.
Get out.
wow.
Which is pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are good guys. I mean, Gene Simmons does a lot of charity work.
He does.
And I like that all his charity work is really hands-on. And I do like what he says about charity, that just giving money isn't enough, that you actually have to go
And do something.
And so that guy does ladle food out. He goes to
Yeah.
places and he does things.
Yeah.
Make sure that the money gets spent in the right ways. And I appreciate that. I like
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
very cool. Yeah.
And these guys all got to go. What just happened? Not only did Kiss spin our Wheel of Misfortune, but Gene Simmons gave us an all-access pass to the show. What a night. And I guess they're going to show on at 5 to watch. I don't think the show is aired yet, but they're going to show the other half of it, I guess. It's pretty cool.
Very cool. That is. That's super cool.
And then the other Kiss, and this just happened. I think this is from today. I guess Paul Stanley. This is from Metalhead, the metalheadzone.com. This is Paul Stanley reveals interesting facts about the band's doing a farewell tour. There he is. In a recent interview with Chicago Tribune, Kiss frontman Paul Stanley talked about the farewell tour, end of the road, and some other topics. During the conversation, he claimed that most bands do a final tour because they hate each other. Interviewer asked, "You brought your 98-year-old..."
Wait, we have to back up. If anybody's read Paul Stanley's book,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. During the conversation, he claimed that most bands, they hate each other. And the interviewer asked, "You brought your 98-year-old dad to a show in LA a few weeks ago. Do you ever look at him and think, could I keep going into my 90s? Paul responded, "I didn't bring him. He insisted on coming. If we were a band in tennis shoes and jeans and t-shirts, yeah, we could do that into our 90s. But we're not. We're Kiss. And even though we make it look easy, we're wearing between 30 and 40 pounds of gear and running around for 2+ hours. So it's important for everyone to realize that life is finite and there is an expiration date for us.
Okay, what 30, 40 pounds is Paul Stanley lugging around?
I don't know, man. You see those
The
boots?
shoes?
Those
Those
boots
shoes
he's
are
wearing are
huge.
massive, man. They're
They
massive.
are.
Are those 30 pounds? 30 to 50 pounds?
They probably are. I would guess 30 pounds.
I would think that you'd probably want to keep them weighted down because they'd probably help you stand up.
Yeah. Oh, God, you're right.
What I want to point out that he had to say, his response to that was, "I didn't bring him. He insisted on coming." He couldn't have just left it alone, right? And just left it as that he brought him. He said he insisted on coming. Like, I didn't want him there.
I didn't want him there. He just insisted on coming.
Well, Kevin, he wouldn't be Paul Stanley if he didn't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
It's
Right?
Dad. He's still got a chip.
Wow.
I could just see his dad like,
Yeah, he's got a chip on his shoulder, exactly.
Paul, you better bring me to this show. You never bring me to the show. I don't think you're very proud of your old man.
No.
Oh, Lord.
You always go and you drink all the liquor and you grope all the women.
You grope all the women.
And his dad looked wild.
Where do you think I learned? I learned it from watching you, Dad. Remember that drug commercial?
I learned it from you.
The dad comes in and the kid's got it hot, and then the kid's like,
where'd you learn how to
like
do
getting
this?
all indignant. He's like, where do you think I learned it? I learned it from watching you, Dad.
No. And that kid to this day, that kid is Paul Stanley. Right?
It's
little known fact. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what Paul said. It's better to stop now than to kind of fizzle out. Making a passive decision is still a decision. If we were to finish a tour and not tour next year, and then the year after that, you've basically done the same thing, but that's not Kiss. The band has never been better. We've never had more fun. Most bands do a final tour because they hate each other. For us, it's the complete opposite. The interviewer asked, do you think about how different things would be if Kiss were to get famous now in the era of Spotify and #MeToo? Paul said, we came along at the time we were needed, and we've endured, and we still are. We came along as a wake-up call to audiences to not accept apathy, disrespect, or feeling cheated. We were the audience that got on stage and became the band we never saw, and that changed the ground rules.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Ah,
not a bad little interview.
Very nice. No.
But you know who did change the ground rules?
No. Oh no.
Did you guys hear about this?
No.
Yes.
Did you really? You knew about this?
Yes, I heard about this.
I did not.
I read about this last week. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is recent?
Yeah.
Well,
the way you said it, Scott, it's like you knew about it, Kevin, and you didn't tell me?
No, I knew. Wow. Oh my God.
You could have stopped him, Kevin.
You could have stopped him. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
I did not know. Or if I did, I just maybe forgot.
He really looks like he could be the 5th member of Kiss, though.
He's very, yeah. Yeah, look at it. Wow.
Maybe did he help Gene Simmons write Going Blind and Christine 16? That's what
well, I don't know about Christine 16, but that would be hilarious.
Oh God. Oh my God.
That was good.
And sad.
Well, actually, Kevin, maybe does he have any credit for any early Kiss stuff?
I think he does. Yeah, he does.
Well,
he co-wrote some of the stuff. Didn't he co-write She or something like that?
She or Love Her All I Can or something.
And right? Going Blind. Right? And Going Blind.
Oh.
Yep,
you love that song. Going Blind.
And he now is going blind.
Oh my God.
So yeah.
Wait. Justice is not blind.
Oh. Justice is not blind. Okay, very good.
You guys don't know in the chat, Stephen Coronel was he wasn't the former guitarist for Kiss, but he was for Wicked Lester.
Yes,
give a little backstory.
So let's see.
Of like Wicked Lester.
Yeah.
Wicked Lester was, of course, the band prior to Kiss that had most of the members in it, including Stephen, who didn't make the cut for Kiss. And he just got arrested for 2014 child sex crimes.
Oh my God.
So I'm not going to get into the gory details because it's pretty bad, but the 67-year-old who helped write the song She and Going Blind, which
he did.
He did.
2016 to 3 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation. So I think he's going away for a while if they find him guilty.
At least the rest of his life.
So I don't think any of the members have said anything about it. Let's see. A former member of the Long Island Sounds, Coronel introduced Simmons to guitarist Stanley Eisen, later known.
Oh, he was in the Long Island Sounds.
Before Stanley decided to join Wicked Lester. After Coronel parted ways with Wicked Lester, Stanley and Simmons teamed up with guitarist Ace Frehley and drummer Peter Criss to form Kiss. So let's see. Oh, he actually had an interview. In 2013, an interview with the Kiss Army Sweden, Coronel stated about Wicked Lester's early days. The band started with Gene, Brooke Ostrander, and myself. Then Stanley was brought in by me. Next, Tony, a drummer brought in by Brooke. We found a room above the Norman Watch Company in the second floor of the Walk Up to Chinatown storefront building, leased by a sculptor who rented the back room for us to use at nights and weekends. Oh, rock and roll. There was no winter. Stanley and I would run in the snow before rehearsal to a small Chinese liquor store to buy wine. Gene would scold us. We had many, many rehearsals there. The following spring, I got a call from Gene while I was upstate working as a waiter in hotels for the holidays. A thief broke into the rehearsal room and our equipment and guitars were stolen. And that's, of course, told in the Paul Stanley book in a very hilarious way.
Hey, wait. Do you guys know if any of that equipment has surfaced?
Oh, God, no. I don't.
Whoever stole that, man, those are some major collector's items, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
True. Interesting.
Oh my God. I hadn't heard about this.
Well, if he's going to kiss a child, he's going to steal equipment. Well,
yeah.
That's the best.
If you're capable of doing that. The thing is, like, this is crazy. And have you guys seen Leaving Neverland?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I just finished it.
Oh my God!
I saw a portion of it.
It's horrific. Of course, everybody knows, they've heard the stories, but that thing really puts it into perspective. And now it just ripped that one family to pieces. Just ripped them to pieces.
I was shocked by how graphic they got into details because I watched it over the weekend too, and I thought that it was going to be like one of those tacky, like True Hollywood stories where it, like, you know, like a narrator, but it was actually a really well made,
very well done. Yeah.
And the thing is, there's clips, there's actual footage of stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys saw this one scene where it's the kid sitting on the couch with Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
And then the little boy, he's probably around 8 years old or something, 9. And he says, they're asking about sleeping in the bed with Mike. And he said, I told him at first I didn't want to do it. And then he said, if you love me, you'll share my bed. And so then, and then the guy that's doing the interview is like, what? And then
what?
Backpedals and goes, oh, well, I slept on the floor. No, you did not.
No, you didn't.
Why would you tell somebody, if you love me, you'll share my bed 1 minute, and then you get the kid to share the bed, and then you would sleep on the floor? That doesn't make any sense, man.
You're insane.
Not that sharp, Michael.
Yeah, and it's all on tape. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's hearsay.
No, there it is.
Is that all the same interview footage before Michael died? What was that guy, his name, that did that documentary?
The English guy, the guy that followed him around, right?
Yeah.
Is it the same guy that did this one?
I don't think so.
I don't think it is. It's weird. It's like a European company that did this one because they aired it on Channel 4 in England, which I thought was really weird.
Yeah,
on a regular network. Yeah,
I think you're using that original guy's footage, though.
Oh yeah,
probably. No, probably because he had so much.
They show you like inside the house. Like, I had never seen that footage that extensively before.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. You know what? Oh, go ahead.
I just thought the weirdest part too was the phone messages.
Yes.
Oh,
and hearing him, like, his voice sounds so different, and I thought it was weird.
I don't know how those phone messages weren't damning enough, and like the letters that they had.
Yeah.
How did this not?
Yeah, I mean, just that the phone messages were, yeah, it's wow, oh my God.
Well, what was one of the moms or something said, he'd spend hours on the phone with Michael Jackson. I'm thinking, who can talk to an 8-year-old for hours?
For hours.
Like,
yeah.
I have a daughter. I loved her to pieces, but hours? Like, I don't know how I would spend hours just talking to her.
Dude, what are you talking about?
I don't know. Like,
and those pictures of, they said that he would just come over, the family that lived in the valley, and he just have this what looks like a very middle class looking living room, and then Michael Jackson sitting on this couch.
That was bizarre.
It was bizarre. Like it just looked like anybody's house, and then you have Michael Jackson just sitting there.
Just to back up again, there's going to be a lot of backing up here. Okay. Why would you do that? This is Michael Jackson. Why? I mean, to befriend a child?
I know. But he played it was weird how he played the long game with the first kid. Like he was super patient, and he really worked on the parents and like the family. The second kid, he went in for the kill like right away. Like he just went in. Oh. Yeah.
All I know is he created a pedophile's like wet dream, like that whole Neverland and all that money and being who he was. Man, you talk about like the epitome of pedophile, right? Like
right.
He's the king of pop, or the prince of pop, but he's the king of pedophiles, man.
Right. I mean, he had the money and the property, and yeah, you're right. I mean.
That's why when you look at that house, like it's so sinister now. Like
no one's
on there because, like you said, Art, the whole house is designed to lure children. Like the one guy said, there was not a single room that didn't have toys in it.
That's exactly it. You're right. The house, it almost seems like it was designed for that. Like you're right.
If he was found with a kid, there was always like toys or something, so it seemed normal.
We were just playing.
Oh God! The one mom told the story how they had that room within a room. And there was like bells, so he could hear them coming in.
Yeah, he could hear, and bells. Yeah, so he'd always know. He would always know when someone was coming.
Yeah, nothing was happening though. It was all above board.
Oh yeah.
Imagine just going to like your normal friend's house and they have a closet within a closet like that. I'd be like, what is going on?
What's going on here? Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, when they show the house now, it's sort of not so kept. Yeah, it has a very ghostly sort of sinister quality to it. Like it looks evil. Like it does. It just wow.
James in the chat says, I'm trying to figure out how the pedo crime rate in the entertainment industry compares to that of the normal population. It seems Hollywood is unusually loaded.
Yeah, and you know what else? This is what else upset me. Okay, Oprah did this thing where she had the director that put the show, what is it?
Documentary?
The documentary together, and then had the two kids, that are now grown up and everything and trying to get on with their lives. And so she said, this runs rampant in places, and then she's saying in churches, in schools, in households, and then she says on sports teams, but she never says Hollywood. Like
the biggest one.
The biggest one.
Like, you got to point some of these fingers back at your own profession. Yeah, this is rampant in Hollywood. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What was that? What's that one guy? That Roman Polanski?
Him. Yeah, with I mean, look at him.
He got chased out of the state.
He did. They pretty much exiled him, and then he came back, and they gave him an award for like lifetime achievement, and I mean, it kind of got erased.
How did Jerry Seinfeld get away with it?
Was he with somebody really young? I don't know.
He left his wife for his babysitter, 16-year-old babysitter. He's now married to her, Shoshana. He was 38 and she was 16.
Well, let's not even get into Woody Allen.
Let's not even get exactly.
We could go on and on.
We could go on and on, but it's horrific. Yeah.
So how about Kiss Alive? Huh?
Exactly.
No. I want to ask one last question.
Okay.
You don't have to answer it if you're uncomfortable. Because I just wanted to kind of, I mean, Eddie Trunk talked about it, so I figured, well, if Eddie Trunk's going to...
Oh, did he really? Did he cover it? Did he cover it?
Talk about Jackson a little bit. I don't know where did everybody chime in prior to leaving Neverland? Did you guys? Where did you come in on the whole molestation? Did you think that he had done it or not before this documentary?
Good question.
I believe he did. I always believed he did. It's just like you said. Everything everybody was just talking about. How he set that house up for it's a pedophile's wet dream there, and just setting it up for the kids, setting up the parents, paying parents to rent their kids basically, and it's just and if nothing physical happened, it's still twisted and perverted. What adult man sleeps with a child that's not your own? First off,
disgusting.
And then I don't know. It's crazy.
I didn't even sleep with my 9-year-old. Like at that point, they have their own bedroom.
Yes.
Right.
Their own.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there gets
weird.
to be a point where it just does get to be, a little weird, And,
well, I'll chime in. You always heard about it, and then of course when when the allegations surfaced way back in the 90s. It didn't. So I don't think it was that surprising because there was already stuff out there. But the one thing I thought of too with this documentary, and what about all the ones that you didn't hear about? I mean, this was two kids. These were two kids, and they had the I guess they had the courage to come out and. The one guy even openly says, I worried about my career. I'm in the entertainment industry too. And I didn't know what it was going to do. And that's why he said he blocked it out for so long. But what about all the kids that he did pay off? And you don't know they're nameless and faceless too,
Right.
And I'm sure, again, I mean, I'm not justifying or anything, but he was probably abused as well, and the saying, hurt people, and
right,
and it's tragic.
By his dad, I don't know about sexually, but mentally and physically, that's documented.
Yeah.
Jack was an a-hole.
He was, yeah.
It's
just, What do you think, Taylor?
I don't it was really weird. It sounds super naive, but maybe because I was pretty young when that news first came out. Because I was something sinister happened, but I wasn't sure if he actually had molested them full on. I think the older I got, the weirder it seemed more and more. I was he had to have done something. But I didn't realize the extent of how much time he spent with them. It was super shocking to me because I had never seen until that documentary that those kids went on tour with him. There's footage of him just walking around with kids, holding hands
all the time.
Yeah, and it's how did nobody think it was weird this grown man was spending this much time with a kid? I didn't realize that there was so much documentation of that part.
There actually is a lot of footage.
Yeah, there's so much footage in that documentary of walking around with small kids. There's him at that hotel with that other kid, and the kid's in his room, and people, you don't think it's weird this guy's leaving a hotel with a child that's not his kid?
God.
I didn't realize how deep that part went. And I also didn't realize that, I guess in hindsight, how big of a celebrity he really was. Because it was pre-internet. And the internet kind of leveled the playing field of celebrities feeling approachable on Twitter and stuff. But he was a superstar beyond anything that we've seen since.
Massive. Exactly.
So of course, people were totally accepting of how eccentric he was because he almost didn't seem like a person.
Right.
Well, it's weird. I think Hollywood can do something that normal people can't, is where they can normalize bad behavior. Like Michael Jackson doesn't hide it. He walks around with kids. He openly says he shares his bed with them, that he loves them and all these things. So then all he's doing is indoctrinating you into that this is normal behavior, not for us, but maybe for Michael Jackson. So he's a genius, so he gets the pass, right? He's so amazing. And he talks about all this stuff, and then we're just supposed to go, oh, well, that's normal behavior for a genius, for Michael Jackson, and judge. But if you found out your neighbor was doing this and stuff like that, you would probably call the police on them. You know what I mean? You would probably have said something. But Michael Jackson the reason he got away with it is because he learned how to normalize the bad behavior. And also, this is why, like, I was kind of like Kevin at first, where I was thinking, at best, like, I don't have proof, and I don't like to hang people out to dry until, like, there's a trial or, there's definitive proof. But I was always like, Michael Jackson, at best, is a perv. Like, he's definitely, like, getting off on hanging out with these little kids.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely something weird there.
It's obviously inappropriate.
Yeah. And then when the second trial happened, because he was up twice for the same charges, and the second time when he started dancing on the hood of the limo,
right.
This guy is out of his mind,
and he's untouchable. Like, you just got the feeling like I'm untouchable. That is
flaunting arrogance in front of the law, and at the very least diminishing the other person's case. Like, let's just say that those kids were totally correct, right? All of these charges were totally correct. He's diminishing. He's just kind of like neener. Like, what I mean? He's just thumbing his nose.
Totally. Totally.
And he's got all the money and all the legal resources to get away with, murder. And then this is why, I mean, there was the video in Leaving Neverland, but there's also this one thing that I didn't realize before, that the majority of those kids, if not all of those kids, were aspiring actors
or dancers or something.
Dancers,
or something. Yeah.
Whatever. And so these are parents, not like parents that we live, in our neighborhood, because people I know would never even entertain having kids sleep over and do these things.
Leaving your kid for a week.
Yeah. But these are parents that are actor parents. You know what I mean? These are performer parents. And so they realize giving to get, right? They realize, if we can get an inroad with Michael Jackson, our child has a better chance of making it in his chosen profession or at their chosen profession. Because let's face it, some of those parents are probably driving those kids to do these things, not necessarily the kids doing it themselves. Yeah. So when you think about that, it makes total sense why a parent would look the other way, because not only are they being seduced by Michael Jackson, which is fun, but they also want their kid in that world. They want their kid to perform. They want their kid to be a star. Yeah. And so hanging out with the star is the surest, well, in their eyes, would be the surest road to get there. Yeah. And so I'm sure a lot of those parents knew, but we're okay to look the other way in the process, because the greater good would be served. Their children would be stars.
Yeah.
And if anybody doubts this, just look at poor Corey Feldman.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
My gosh, that dude's a car wreck. I feel so bad every time that guy tries to do anything in his life. I want to support him just because I want to support that guy. I would never say anything bad, but I think some of his stuff is very cringy. His music career, a lot of those things that he's tried to do. But my gosh, man, he's been trying to tell Hollywood and these people for a decade now.
He's been out there for so long trying to get, hey, you guys got to know that this is going on, that this is happening, and I don't know why no one's taking him serious.
Yeah, I mean, he's a car wreck and everything.
Yeah.
And then if you think that their parents are morally upright and good people, didn't his parents end up taking his money?
I believe so. I'm not absolutely sure, but I know he's just got a really kind of a he's just never been lucky. I
think I heard him
on
he was on Howard Stern years ago, and I think he said that his parents basically left penniless. Yeah.
God.
It's horrible.
Gosh. Okay, Kevin. We can move on now.
Anyway.
It's alive.
Anyways.
Any way you want it.
Oh, no. Okay.
Wrong band.
Okay.
Not yet. We're a few albums away from that one.
Okay. Hey, Kevin, you want to give us some thoughts about
Come on, Kevin.
I dare you to say something bad.
It's not a true live album.
Well, we know. Real fans know. I know.
Look it. It is an absolute masterpiece. It is a benchmark of every live album put out since that album came out. Okay. I don't know, but I was trying to think about any live albums prior to that might have had the impact that this one did, and the only one I could think of that came out around the same time was maybe Frampton Comes Alive.
Yeah.
But sure. I don't care if it's not live, like a true live album.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's a masterpiece. It really is. There's I hear a lot of complaints about the production. I think it's great.
I think
the production is great. It's amazing. I don't have a bad thing to say about that album. Everything is amazing about that album. Everything.
Even the track listing is amazing.
The track listing is amazing. Yep. It's great. Super strong. 100,000 years.
Yeah, that's the definitive version.
Yeah. Paul's voice is in, top form, on this album. I mean, he's only in his early 20s. I mean, you can't. It's great. It's great. It's great.
It is.
Well, the songs are Deuce, Strutter, Got to Choose, Hotter Than Hell, Firehouse, which by the way, the live version of the studio version, the live version is amazing.
It is amazing.
Nothing to Lose, Come On and Love Me, Parasite, which oh my gosh,
that's killer.
100,000 Years, Black Diamond. Oh my gosh, this list just keeps going. Rock Bottom. With the abbreviated intro, Cold Gin, Rock and Roll All Night, and then Let Me Go, Rock and Roll. So, my gosh, as far as I'm concerned, those first three albums didn't exist. These are the, I'm sorry, I was going to ask how Scott felt about the album.
Oh, no.
Right into it. I'm so passionate. Yeah.
But I agree. I like, these are the, I mean, of course, there was 3 albums prior, and I mean, these are like the definitive versions of those songs. I mean, until you heard, right, Kevin? I mean, until you heard these versions of the songs, like you just didn't understand how powerful they were. And I saw an interview once where, Paul Stanley had said the same thing that I mean, yeah, the production, we talked about this briefly in a prior show, that the production maybe fell a little flat, and that it maybe those recordings didn't capture what the band was about. But when you heard this, and as Paul Stanley had said, it was more or less like a souvenir of a show, of going to see a show. Like, this is what we represent. This is it. And it did. I remember getting this on 8-track. I think my stepmother's brother gave it to me because I don't know why he even had it. They were all like hardcore cholos. I don't even know why he had it but he wound up giving it to me. And I remember my brother and I just like, what do you think it's like in that room? Like, we were just trying to imagine what it's like being there, because you could really hear, like, it sounds like a live record. Like, it sounds like a hall, like you're in a hall, and it sounds very, very live. And I mean, I mean, Kevin, you probably know. I mean, of course, that it was re-recorded and everything. And I actually had a chance to ask Eddie Kramer myself.
Oh, nice.
At a seminar. I went to a recording seminar, and he was the keynote. And he did. He said that the drums were probably the only thing that he kept, that was it. And then he just said it was just a matter of, it was a live show, the guitars are bouncing around and you can hear them and everything, and they were out of tune. He said that's all it was. There were things that had to be touched up, and
right.
But he said the performances were there, but he did say the drums were the only thing that he actually kept.
Peter Criss loves to say that too.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
I'll bet. I'll bet.
And also, this album, it stayed on the Billboard Top 100 for like well over a year.
Because of Rock and Roll All Night. Yeah.
That was unheard of, man. Yeah. Unheard of.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Scott, since you brought up the production and everything, were the tracks recorded with all four of them, or were they all like separated performances when they, because from what I understand, they actually played it live. It wasn't live in front of a crowd, but they did play the songs live.
That I'm not sure, but I know that for Kiss Alive 2, he did say that they literally recorded the show in an empty, at the Forum, empty, just to get takes. Whether they used the takes when the hall was full, or not, at that I don't know. They added crowd obviously later there, but he said that they did record an entire show without anybody in the arena. So whether that's the case with the live, I'm not sure. But he did also say at that same seminar that one of the biggest misconceptions for a live is that it was all recorded at Kobo, and he said that he recorded multiple shows at multiple venues and then pieced it together, and that he thought a lot of it, he said he didn't remember, or I believe him, he probably doesn't, that a lot of it was recorded at I thought he said a show in Jersey, like a lot of it was at another venue.
Yeah, on Wikipedia it says the album was recorded at concerts in Detroit, Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio, Wildwood, New Jersey, and Davenport, Iowa.
That's it. And then in Iowa, he talks about that a lot, that they used a lot of the footage from Iowa. A lot of that, whatever, yeah.
So this wasn't them going in and doing tracks, like there wasn't a Ace Frehley guitar track or Paul Stanley vocal track.
I don't know. With this one, I don't know. I mean, I would assume that they all just went in individually. I mean, Kevin, maybe you can correct me. I'm assuming.
The whole thing was recorded live at all those shows. However, when they went back in, they had to go back in, maybe individually or whatever, to re-record parts.
Yeah,
and touch stuff. Yeah, and overdub it. And but and as I think it was him, and where he was talking about how who wants to hear a sour note? Who wants to hear? Don't you want it to be
good?
It's what everybody remembers.
Yeah.
It's literally what everybody remembers. Like, you can go right now, for instance, today is a great example. You can go see Kiss tonight live, and it's going to sound amazing.
Yeah.
You see that same show on YouTube, and you go, oh my God,
what happened?
Listen to that. What happened to his voice? Because that's not what I remember hearing.
Yeah.
It's what you want to recall and what you want to remember. And that's what they did with this album. They made this album exactly what the experience would be if you were at the show,
Well,
how you remembered. Yeah.
And like you said, Kevin, I'm not a big Paul Stanley's voice. I like Paul Stanley in a lot of ways. I think he's a great frontman. I think he's a great voice for the band. His songwriting, I'm not 100% on his voice. There are songs that I like more than others, but on this Alive, the first album, his voice is really, really good. I think it's probably the best I've heard. I really like just about every track that he sings on in this, and that's pretty rare for me. I cannot say anything bad about this album. It's really amazing.
It's phenomenal.
And I'm an Ace Frehley guy. This is the best Ace ever looked. I like the shoulder saucers.
Yes.
And I never wanted any of the Kiss boots. I think jeans came the closest ones with the Dragons, but those sneakers that Ace has on, those I still want those things.
They're awesome.
Right?
Yeah. So Taylor, how do you feel about the Alive?
Well, I was going to say, and there is a major overdubbing controversy, I guess. But yeah, according to Wikipedia, Simmons stated that very little corrective work was done in the studio, that most of the studio time was devoted strictly to mixing down the multi-track recordings. Man. He also emphasized that Kiss could not have done extensive overdubbing, even if they had wanted to, thanks in no small part to the Johnny Carson album fiasco. The extremely meager budget allotted to the band simply would not allow it.
Oh, Casablanca. Right.
Scott, go ahead and tell that story. I know you know it.
That's right, about Casablanca putting all that money into a Tonight Show record. I don't know if it was just skits, on recorded skits or what it was, but they sunk a bunch of money into that. It almost wiped them out.
But think about that. It almost seems like it would be a sure bet, right? Johnny Carson.
Right. That's what I'm sure Neil Bogart thought the same thing.
Yeah, he's a bankable star, and had no one turned up. And then they put out, Alive, and then it like hits the charts. And
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that just goes to show you, man. Life's a crapshoot, right?
Saved the company. Yeah, they were heroes. I mean, it really did. It saved. It just saved them. But now, Kevin, I was going to ask you this, and anybody, and I don't know why this album never comes up, because people always talk about Alive, Alive 2, and of course there's Alive 3 and an Alive 4. But You Wanted the Best compilation. Kevin, have you ever heard that with all the live? Like it's a compilation of live recordings. And it came out after the reunion. That's
the one that's got like "Take Me" on it.
Those are great versions of those songs.
Oh yeah.
And and then there's some stuff on there that I'm assuming came off of probably the recordings from Alive, like the "Let Me Know."
Yes, I think so. I think you're right.
Isn't there a version of Room Service? Isn't there a version of Room Service on there?
Yep, there's a room.
So those don't sound touched up. Why didn't they just leave them alone? Like, I mean, those are actually really good recordings.
They do
and one or two of them are at the Forum. I think one of them at least is at the LA Forum. One of them is. It might be Room Service or something, but those are great. They sound like they're from around the same era. That's why I thought, well, there you go. They didn't really touch those up. Yeah, they're pretty sloppy, but they sound great.
Yeah, they do.
They sound awesome.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Samurai Sid in the chat says all those good Ace songs. And Ray says, yeah, it took 3 major Kiss albums to pull Casablanca out of bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the record. It wasn't disco. So can we end this argument?
Well, it's a great record. It is. Touched up or not, it's still a hell of a live record.
Oh,
so representative, right, of what they were about. And I just remember, oh my God, I want to be wherever that is as a kid. I don't even know where they're at. Yeah, I don't know where it was recorded, and I don't know. I just imagine it being hot in there, and everybody's sweaty and rocking out, and I didn't care. And then I didn't see them until I think a couple of years after that. But
it feels like a real concert experience, especially the 100,000 Years cut that they have on there.
Oh God.
Oh, guys, you guys ready?
Right? Come on.
You guys all played that, right?
Of course.
As drummers, how did you guys feel about that drum solo?
Come on, Kevin.
Come on, that was great.
It was great.
That was great, man. It was there was nothing wrong with Peter. He was in his prime then, man. Peter was a different, he obviously had jazz influence and stuff like that, and it shows in a lot of his stuff. And I think we talked about this before. I don't care how good of a drummer you are. Eric Singer is a dynamite. He's a school drummer.
Yeah.
Eric Carr was dynamite, but nobody could match Peter Swagger when it comes to how he laid down his fills and stuff like that.
And you see that footage of them on the Dressed to Kill, or I just watched the Hotter Than Hell show live at Winterland, a bootleg I have, and at that point he had a very Keith Moon quality to his playing.
Yeah,
he was really such odd places and everything, but that's just where he felt it. That's where it's at. But that and some of course the footage that you see at Kobo later too, very to me always very Keith Mooney, very washy, a lot of cymbals, and I love it. I love that, seeing that early footage of him.
It's amazing stuff. Really good.
Well, I miss 70s drummers because I think it was. Well, not that I think it was before the tracks, the click tracks started coming in, and drums became very mechanical and very precise. And I kind of like some of that sloppiness. Yeah. It's kind of like the way I describe it is it's a groove. Like Peter was not a technical drummer.
No,
most of those drummers at the time, they had one thing in common where there was a groove. Like they were organically melded with the music. You know what I mean? Like now it almost seems like the drums are like a mechanical, like just tick-tock for the band to play with. But there would be speeding up, slowing down. There would be like emotions that would enter into the playing. You know what I mean? So tempos would change slightly and things like that, because they can say now by today's standards it's sloppy, but I also think it's more emotional. I think it's more tangible. It's more real. And at best, I'll always give Peter, he had that. And I like watching him live because there seems like there's more power to him when you see him play than you hear, especially early stuff, like on the reunion. What was the reunion tour or whatever? I don't even know who that was. Like he seemed like he was really hitting the drums. But the early stuff, hell yeah, man. He was hitting those things. And then, back to 100,000 years, just the sheer stamina to keep that up for as long as he does. You guys know as well as I do.
And that's a great groove.
That is a physical triumph. Keeping that kind of rhythm up.
Yeah.
Oh, for that long,
Yeah, I mean, that's good cardiovascular. And he definitely had that at the time. So, I think that it was a moment in time. It all kind of gelled on this album, and it all had, even with the drums maybe speed up, slowing down, maybe some of the sloppier qualities, but I think that also is the charm of it. It also makes it seem organic and more tangible and more real.
Yeah.
And that's the 70s stuff. Like one of my favorite live albums, a little bit of tangent, but is the UFO Strangers in the Night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I've seen them live. I think that, to me, that's the closest to a real live album, a rock album that I've ever heard. I don't know if there were dubs or whatever, but I've seen them a couple times around that same period. And my gosh, man, that stuff is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. UFO.
And once again, those older UFO songs that they play live, it's just like alive to me. They're better than the studio recording.
Yeah.
Was it Pete Way? What's the drummer's name?
Andy Parker.
Andy Parker.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, he's definitely that kind of drummer, right? Where it's just kind of it's like a groove. It's like a sloppy groove that he gets into.
Yeah.
And I really miss that.
Yeah. I saw them not too long ago, and they were really good. I saw them a few years ago when they toured. They just put out a record, and they came through LA, and they were just absolutely amazing. Phil Moog just sounds great. Of course, no Pete Way. I was hoping that Pete Way would be doing the tour, but he can't get into the United States because of visa issues. But they were still amazing. And then on the other side of that, I saw Schenker.
Paul Chapman, who's playing for
It was actually. It was
back then, right? It was Paul
back then. No, yeah, it was Paul Chapman. The guy, I'm trying to think of the guy that plays keys now, and
Paul Raymond.
Paul Raymond, yeah, who's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
He does all the backing vocals too. He's
he's nonstop. He's strumming a guitar. He's playing keys. Yeah, he's singing. He's just the guy behind the curtain. Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Who's the guy playing for him now? It's that Racer X guy? What's his name?
No, Vinnie Moore. Vinnie Moore was a shrapnel guy, actually, a shredder guy. But he's been with UFO longer than Schenker or Chapman were, I think, combined. He's been in the band for a long time.
Okay, yeah. I got to ask this because I'm a big UFO guy. You guys are the Schenker years or the Chapman years?
Schenker.
I'm a Schenker guy too.
Yeah, I mean that's when the biggest body of their best material.
I'm a Schenker guy. Yeah,
I am too. But I'm getting into the Paul Chapman stuff, and that's no slouch.
I think Paul Chapman with Mechanics was probably my favorite Paul Chapman era.
I think the No Place to Run album was good. I like the Elvis Mystery Train cover.
Nice.
God, I think it's amazing. I love that. Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to start trying to wind down a little bit here?
Sure.
Okay. I do have another thing. There's like this big controversy, you guys, It's huge. I've been inundated with all my my emails and my messaging, and we need to figure this out finally. The conspiracy about like Paul Stanley and
Oh my God!
and that this happened. I can't believe that
it did.
are like covering this up. This is.
You should work for the Trump camp. That's all I
that's great.
Look at him put his hair out.
Oh, that's the
And
best.
that guy even grooms them.
Never stops. And he never stops. That's the best.
Yeah. So you know, I don't care what anybody says about Paul Stanley. I mean, his hair's on fire and he's still rocking it right there. He doesn't miss a beat. You know, it's weird because there are people like, that's not really Paul Stanley. I'm like, that's Paul Stanley. Right, Kevin?
Yeah. If you say so.
Yeah, I think so. Look at that.
I want this shit to go viral, man. I want this.
Look. Good God.
Okay, the only reason I'm laughing because this is really true, and this is you guys, you know, retweet this, go out, post this around, and let everybody know. The only one that believes that this is truly Paul Stanley. This is going to be like area, was it 50?
It's Area 51.
You guys are all like, no, that guy's crazy, and it's like, no, that's Bigfoot.
Watergate of kids.
Bigfoot. I saw him.
It's the Bigfoot of kids. Yeah.
Make it better as if he was singing Firehouse.
Oh, God.
I'm doing Detroit Rock City, right?
God.
See, Kevin's a skeptic, but I know Scott believes.
Or heaven.
Yeah.
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 See, Kevin, how the game's played.
Yeah.
I think Kevin cares about his Kiss Street Conrad too much. He can't even indulge me.
Oh.
But Taylor believes.
I'll always believe.
Oh, Kevin, I forgot to ask you. Who is that guy in the first picture?
You don't know who that is? Come on, you and Art should know who that is.
Or this one.
That one right there?
Yeah. Who is that?
That's Frank Domino from Angel.
That's Frank Domino?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's about 1990s. Look at me. Look how freaking skinny I am. I was a vegan or a vegetarian back then. And these are like the pictures that I saw, and I said, sorry, cows, man. I got to go back to eating you because
that's Frank Domino.
I was so skinny. Yeah,
I have to ask you, is Frank wearing a little bit of a rug there?
I thought he was, but I don't know. I mean, because it looks like it's his real hair now. It's hard to say. You know,
I think it's his hair.
That was at one of the New Jersey Kiss Expos.
Was it really? Was it really?
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, you got him and Barry to sign all my Angel cassettes. Do you remember?
Oh, shit. Are you serious?
Did I really?
Yeah. I can't find them anywhere though. No. And you guys, I had photos too, and I can't find them anywhere.
I can't either. I cannot find.
Wait a minute. Are you sure that was me? Because I never met Barry Brandt. I would have loved to have met Barry Brandt.
God.
I did meet him. I did meet Frank, but I don't recall ever meeting Barry.
I thought you said they were both at the same show.
No. It was just him.
It was this guy back here.
Yeah, it was him.
I don't know who else could have done it. You're the only guy I know that's a Kiss guy and you know of Angel.
Wow. If you find those, man, snap a picture and send it to me. Maybe I don't remember ever meeting Barry Brandt. That would have been. I think that'd be something that I would remember because he was
Barry Brandt's amazing.
He was one of my idols.
Exactly.
I could be mistaken. I mean, I probably am. You're younger and you have a better memory than I do.
Are you sure it wasn't Dee Snider? Because Dee Snider was at the same show.
Why would you have Dee Snider sign your Angel cassettes?
No, I would not. I would not.
Hilarious.
Dee's like, what? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So this segment was going to be our Kiss story.
Yeah.
Complete with photographs, but
and I can't find them. Yeah, I can't find any of my
So
photos.
we're just gonna have to go with Kevin. All right, Kevin. So go ahead with your Kiss.
All right. So this was one when I was a guest at one of the Kiss Expos when I was working on Kiss Psycho Circus. At that same show, it might have been a show the year later. I did get to meet Mark St. John. I don't have any photos with him.
Get out.
But I did bring my Animalize vinyl album, and I got his
And he
autograph on
signed it. Wow, the late Mark St. John.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he in the photograph with you?
I don't.
No, you don't have
a
any
photograph.
photos.
I didn't get a
Oh,
photo of
man.
him. I did notice his hands though. His hands were.
Did they look bad?
Yeah, there were some major.
Oh, no.
I mean, his one of his fingers equaled like 3 of mine. They were that fat.
Oh my God.
So, yeah. Yeah, he was a nice guy. He was a nice guy. Definitely a nice guy. When I got to meet him. So you got other pictures there, Art, too?
Yeah.
So all right. So
I'm telling you, I got to back up for a minute because I was definitely hanging out with you guys.
Look at that.
Like you and Greg Capullo at the time. You look like you could be Greg Capullo's brother right here.
Yeah, we
look at that picture.
Yeah, we definitely had the same look going on for sure.
But who are the other guys next to you?
So we got two guys. On our left, that's Bruce Kulick. On the right is Eric Carr.
Eric Carr. So cool, man.
I got to talk to him at that show right there for probably about, I want to say 30 minutes, but probably realistically, it's probably more like 15.
Get out.
No, real nice guy. Super nice guy. Both of them are very approachable. I did get to meet Gene Simmons, and don't put the photo up yet, but at the same show, I got my picture taken with him. I could not get, even though I was in the same room with Paul Stanley, I could not get close to him.
You couldn't get close to him, really?
Yeah. Couldn't get, I was 3 feet away from him, but that was about as far as I was going to get. I mean, it was funny because the security was saying, okay, they're going to be coming out. No autographs. It's just a quick, if they want to shake your hand, shake their hand, say hi, and walk away. And as soon as they came out, as soon as Gene and Paul came out, because Bruce and Eric came out first, and got to talk to them for quite a bit, and then they came out, and all of a sudden it was like bedlam. Everybody just,
oh my God,
just friggin', left that way, and everything came out. Sign this, and I tried, man, and I couldn't get it. No, I got Gene Simmons' autograph on my backstage pass.
Wow.
So. Very cool. But if you pull up that picture of Gene and I
want to see.
I got a funny story. Okay.
I want to see. Right. Oh, get out.
Yeah. So with this particular one, my cousin is a big Kiss fan too, and he happened to have this photo at my aunt's house, his mom's house, and he at that period of time, you're going back 1980s, 86, 87.
Yeah.
He shows that photo to his then girlfriend and said, check this out. My cousin met somebody famous. And she's looking at that photo of Gene and I. And she goes, your cousin met Tony Danza?
Oh, no.
Who's the boss?
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
You do got a little Tony Danza in that image right there.
A little bit, maybe.
Oh, that's great.
So, who else did I get to? I did get to meet Ace Frehley on the Bad Boys tour.
Oh, did you really? Pre-reunion Bad Boys tour. Yeah.
Oh, it was actually it was post the acoustic thing on MTV and reunion. I didn't even though Peter Criss, he was out. He was as soon as his set was over, he was
take off. Did he really?
Yeah, didn't get to meet him. I got to meet them again because of my connections in comics. I was working on Spawn at the time, and one of the colorists on Spawn, his name is Roy Young. I don't know if Art, if you recall that name.
No,
he was during the Todd Broker era. He was actually Todd Broker's assistant at one time. He was good friends with Sean Delaney.
Oh,
and they used to do these these reenactments, like from they dress up in armor and they'd fight each other. Those types of things.
Yeah.
Him and Sean Delaney, and Sean actually lived with him and Roy's wife for a brief period of time as well. So
what?
like Roy's like, hey, you want to see if I can get so. Sean Delaney called me on the phone.
You talked to Sean.
Yeah, and and he was like, very nice guy, but he told me some stuff, man. Like, I wish I could have recorded their conversation. I talked to him for about an hour on the phone.
Wow.
And he was telling me about like when Eric Carr died, and and really the shaft that he got from the band, from Gene and Paul. And, and everything that went down with that. And and he was like, at the time it was the Bad Boys tour was going on, and came up in conversation and says, yeah, Ace is going to be playing here at this local club. And he goes, I'll get you in to meet him. I know, I think it was Carol Mann. Carol Mann was the management, and put me in touch with her, got on the phone with her, and she had backstage passes waiting for me, and
get out
and that kind of thing. So what the odd thing was, the club that he was playing is a club that I've played, prior to that.
Yeah.
And so we finally get out to meet him. And this is my last story, and I'll let you guys tell yours. He's sitting on the same couch in the same dressing room that I was in. It was a great club, but somebody of Ace's stature, it's like, he's sitting on this couch, and Carol told me he was a big comic fan. I brought a bunch of comic stuff with me, and I said, hey Ace, it's nice to meet you. I just want to say I'm a huge fan. I love the fact that you guys did that, the Unplugged thing. So what's the chances of a reunion? And he's like, he didn't even look up at me. He's just like talking.
He didn't
even look up at me. Like his head's kind of down looking at the ground, and he goes, probably not going to happen. Right. Something like that. Right. And I said, well, look, Carol said you're a big comic book fan. I brought some stuff. I worked for Todd McFarlane and that kind of thing. And he kind of looked up at me, and he goes, oh yeah. And I said, yeah. And I gave him the stuff, and he just looked at it. He said, thanks. And he just really was very, very standoffish. I guess I can't blame the guy, for he's playing in a club that holds maybe 500 people.
Yeah.
But
I
wasn't the best experience.
I have a theory.
What?
Okay.
I don't think he likes Tony Dan.
He thought you were Tony Dan.
Not a Boss fan.
He's just not.
So Ace didn't even want to look up at Tony Dan. What is his name? Tony Danza.
Tony Danza.
Yeah.
The only way you're getting in good is if you had Judith Light with you. And, you didn't, then he just tuned out.
But the good thing is you got him back a little bit on track with the comic books.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, he was
standoffish.
Standoffish, and that's putting it politely. But.
I have a very similar story. Meeting him, same thing. He was really weird. He didn't look, no eye contact.
Right.
At the Roxy.
He was being weird.
No, it was upstairs right after the reunion. Right after the reunion, we were doing the NAMM. I was playing with a guy. We were doing the NAMM show at the NAMM for the Roxy the year that the NAMM was in LA, NAMM show. And he came in. He was going to just play unannounced. And Anton was there, and no Will Lee. It was just whoever the touring bass player was at the time, but that was the big thing. So he was upstairs, and of course, because we were playing, I was able to get up there, and I wanted a picture, and the manager just said, absolutely not. You're lucky. You're lucky that I'm even letting you stay in here. Like, you're lucky that you're even in here. And I was with one of the other guys from the band that I was playing with, and
I had the same issue.
Yeah, he's like, you're lucky. I'm not throwing you out of here. So, and Ace was just sitting there. He had a little practice amp, and he was just sort of noodling, and it looked like he was kind of giggling, to himself. And then he needed some kind of a screwdriver to fix something, to do something on the bridge of his guitar. Now, I always have a Leatherman on me. Always.
Oh.
So I made a deal with the manager. I go, look, and I pulled off my Leatherman. I go, look, I'll let him use it. Can I get the picture? And Ace kind of looked up and looked at him, and he nodded like, yeah, because he really needed the screwdriver. He needed the Phillips. So he uses it. I hand it to him, and he stands up, and I'll find this picture. He was literally leaning, like I could feel all the weight of his body on my shoulder, like he was leaning on me. Ace, when he got up to take the picture, he just put his arm around me. He did the thumbs up, and he was just leaning on me because I'm small. You
were holding him up, is what.
And I was holding him up. Yeah, he was. I could just feel his weight on me, like completely, yeah. And then he said thank. He just mumbled, but yeah, he didn't really, like directly speak to anybody.
Do you still always carry a Leatherman?
I do.
My grandpa used to tell me always to carry one. I do all the time too.
I do. I just always have a Leatherman. Yeah, I always do.
Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
I used to hang it on my like belt loop. My belt.
That's what I do on my belt. Yeah. Yeah. And I do. And even Tia goes, "Why are you always? Why? Why do you have that thing? What do you need that for?" Yeah.
Everything you need.
Because Ace Frehley might come in, and I have my Leatherman, so
I like that story.
But it was funny. And then on the Paul Stanley story, same thing. I was at NAMM in Nashville.
And you offered your screwdriver?
No. He was just standing there. He was signing some stuff, and that was a case of literally just being able to walk up. I just walked up, said, "Can I get a picture?" And he surprisingly said, "Sure." Surprised, just like real, no. Yeah, he just, went sure and came out from behind the thing, because again, I'm so small, and he just kind of hunched over, and yeah, I looked super nervous in the picture, which I wish I didn't, but I was. I just kind of I was starstruck. I just really was. I was just kind of, holy shit. I didn't think he'd say yes. So, and someone told me to go, like the guy that I was with, that was with the band again I was playing with, said, just go. And it was kind of a dare, not thinking that he would say yes, and he did. But I look super like you could just see it on my face. Like I wish I was smiling or something. I just look nervous. It looks like he has a gun like on my back, or something. Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Tell me, say you like Asylum. Okay. Yeah, it's great. It's my favorite album.
I asked.
Say my solo album's your favorite. Yeah.
I asked the chat if anybody has met any of their favorite musicians. Ray Thulu chimed in. He said, "I'd be afraid to meet most of my musical heroes. I'm going to ruin eventually, which I have of them." But he also said, "I watched Samantha Fox get thrown out of a party at Alice Cooper's house."
And there's a Kiss connection because Paul Stanley dated Samantha Fox.
He did.
That's cool. That is a cool story.
Yeah, he did.
What is your story, Art?
You've met, right?
Yeah, my
two of them
are always convention stories. So the first one is sometimes, like at these conventions, if they're boring to me, I'll entertain myself in various ways. And so at this con, I was like either the photobomb guy or like, what do they call them?
Picture pirates.
Picture pirates, but also like cosplayers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so we were out in the front of like a Hyatt or something like that hotel, and we're waiting to get our car because it's at the valet. And so there's this guy dressed in a stormtrooper outfit, and he had one of those cool like these are not the droids you're looking for. Yeah, and he had a blaster. The costume was really, really cool. And so I asked the guy, I was like, "Can I take some pictures with you?" And he said, "Yeah." But I don't like just taking the pictures. Like, oh, look, I'm standing next to a stormtrooper guy. So I asked him, I said, "Can I have your gun? Can I use your gun?" And he said, "Yeah." So then I walked over and I pointed it at his head. So I pointed the blaster at the stormtrooper's head. And so then I'm just doing various like gag photos. And then I look back and there's Gene Simmons. And so Gene Simmons is laughing. He's like, he's not like laughing out loud, but he just like a little bit, like, smirks, like he's entertained by it. So I'm like, yeah, this guy, this is good. So then I finished up my photo session with the stormtrooper guy and walked over. And I said, "Hey man, would you mind if I took a picture with you?" And he said, "Absolutely. I would not mind." He said, "You have to wait a minute." And I was like,
"Wait,
okay." What? And so then I'm just standing there awkwardly next to this giant because I'm not that tall either. So I'm just standing there. He's not talking to me at all. He's not saying anything. We're just standing next to each other. My friend's got the camera.
What was he waiting?
What was he waiting for?
Well, we couldn't take the picture either. Like he wasn't going to let us take the picture, right? So then he goes, "Walk with me." And so then I walk over. He hands the valet or his ticket, and then he turns to me, goes, "I'm ready for you now." And so, but then we took a picture together, and that's the photo I wish I could find. But I think when I moved from the old studio to the house here, I think it's in those boxes downstairs. That's why I couldn't find them up here. But it's absolutely hilarious because I'm laughing my ass off, and he's all serious, like, yes.
Yes, I'm ready.
Remember that guy in Phantasms, the old man?
Yeah.
Boy.
You
know how like they would always like when he walked, it was like in slow motion.
Yeah.
When I walked with Gene Simmons, I felt like he was that guy from Phantasm.
Super slow, super slow.
Very big strides, and I'm just walking along with. I felt like a little puppy, how they have those small legs. So my legs were like every strut that he makes, there's like strides I make. Oh man, it was absolutely it was bizarre. And then Gene Simmons' story as well. If you guys don't know, Gene Simmons is a big comic book guy. We've talked about it here before, and Kevin has had some personal connections with the Psycho Circus and stuff. But so I'm at the convention, San Diego Con. A friend of mine, Mike S. Miller, has this big booth. He had his company was called Alias at the time.
Mike S. Miller of Blacklist Universe?
Of Blacklist Universe, yeah. There's people in comics, yes.
The very same.
The very same. And so I'm just right out in front of the booth promoting my book, Chrono Mechanics, because it had just come out through Alias. And so I hear, like, off the side, that's R.T. Bear. And then I look over and it's Gene Simmons, and he has people that he has a man and a hot tall chick with him, and they're kind of like I think they're like his personal assistants.
Oh, okay.
And so I think he was maybe asking them like, who's that guy? And so then they said, like, all I hear, when you hear, like, there's certain things in a crowd, if it's your name or the F word, if you hear that word in a crowd, you automatically, like, what?
Tune in.
Tune in, right? Especially when it's FNRT Bear.
Yeah, FNRT Bear.
Yeah, I wish it was, because the story would be better if it was FNRT Bear. So then I just look up and it's like, holy crap, it's Gene Simmons. So then he goes, RT Bear. He goes, where the heck is RT Bear? I want to talk to him. And I was like, oh shit, Gene Simmons knows who RT Bear is.
Oh my God.
Then they brought him over. And so I think I got him to sign one of my Chrono books. And that would have been cool if I found that. I bet you it's in those boxes downstairs too. And so we just talked a little bit. I asked him if he would do a forward for Chrono.
And he did.
He said he would. And so since then, I think he's done 2 forwards for 2 different books that I've worked on in the past. Yeah, so he's very cool. And I was just kind of flattered that he's like, RT, just hearing him say
that voice. Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm that like 14-year-old kid again, like Gene Simmons knows
Gene Simmons. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is.
But the thing is, I think Scott has us all trumped, because I think, if I remember right, Scott, you posted a picture of you and Robert Plant in a truck or something, right?
I did. Oh. That was the weirdest thing too. Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
Well, I was with that when I was playing with that Eric Sardinas guy, the blues guy. We traveled a lot, and we were in Norway. And we were sitting in the hotel. I'll never forget this. It was late. This guy walked in with curly hair and a leather jacket. Now, I'm not even, I'm facing it. Eric's back is to him, and he's checking in. And I'm going, Eric goes, he's talking. And he finally goes, what are you looking at? Like, you're not listening to me. And I go, that guy looks just like Robert Plant, the guy that walked in. And he goes, who? When he turned around, it's just this guy, the guy, and he had someone with him, like carrying stuff. Didn't think anything of it. We were just going about, and then we played the next day. It was this festival called the Natoden Blues Festival. It was on this beautiful lake, and it was a lot of acts, like it was the Allman Brothers and B.B. King and him and Robert Plant, but he was going under some weird name. I'll forget. I'll email one of the guys. It was a weird name.
The honey.
No, it wasn't even that. It was
he played with the blues band at one point, didn't he?
He did. Well, the Honey Drippers, yeah, and then it was something else though, which he's gonna redo that. He's gonna actually start that back up too, the Honey Drippers. But so we're standing there in the little circle of trailers after we played, thinking we're all cool and everything, and I go, holy crap, that is Robert Plant. Like he was standing there with a cup of water, just talking. And I walked over and he was just the nicest guy. Like he was so cool. Wow. He was super cool, very approachable. No problem. Can I get a picture? And oh yeah. And he even posed. Like a couple of times, like he acted like he was holding the mic cable and was like joking. Like I was going, oh there, it's Robert Plant, yeah. Yeah. And then he goes, do you want to walk on the stage with me? Because they were getting ready to go on. And I went, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, come on. He goes, walk up the ramp, like the ramp. Just here, come on. Because he was talking about guitar players and that he had wanted to work with, I think he said Eric Johnson. Like he was talking about wanting to work with Eric Johnson.
Oh, he's one of the best.
So as we're walking up the ramp, he's like getting into character. Like he's moving his shoulders. He's like tilting his head back. Like, I mean, I'm like going, holy shit. He's like turning into like the Robert Plant as we're walking like a werewolf. I'm going, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. And then can I stand on the stage? Like, do you mind? And take pictures? And he said, absolutely. So I have some pictures of him. And he kept like facing me, and like I would take pictures as they were playing. So I'll find him. Yeah. And he was just so cool.
Well, one of them's on your Facebook site, right?
I think I did. I posted it on there, and that one too. I'm clearly nervous. Like I tightened up. Just oh shit, because he just leaned like he just come here, put his arm around. Yeah, put his arm around me.
The cool thing is there's a dressing room, but it's kind of isolated in a field, if I remember right.
It's like outside, yeah. And it was just like this compound, and he had a trailer, and B.B. King had a trailer, and there was a couple of other bigger name like blues guys, and I was just going, oh my God, like I was just so I didn't want to be, but I was so starstruck.
Rachel wants to know, was it the Band of Joy? That's Plant's bluegrass Americana group.
You know what? One of the guys, I think the guitar player was actually the original guy from Band of Joy, but it wasn't what the band was called. It was something really bizarre, like a really weird name, like a Welsh name or something. I think it was because the promoter had said that they couldn't use his name for something. They couldn't use his name in the promotion. Like they couldn't say Robert Plant's playing at this festival. we can't, they couldn't. So yeah, it was something really odd. I have the program, I'll find it, but it was something really bizarre. But he didn't play any Zeppelin music or anything. It was just like really weird, like hippie music. And it was really bizarre. But it was Robert Plant. I didn't care.
God, that's a living rock legend, man. You don't get any bigger than that.
Yeah. Nope. Isn't that? Yeah, I'm just thinking, oh my God, I'm talking to Robert Plant. I was just seriously like just trying to be cool. I'm thinking, I just walked off stage. Yeah, right. Now you're talking to Robert Plant. And then the same thing happened with John Paul Jones. We were in Denver, and he was out promoting, I guess, the record that he did where he plays the lute and all the stuff. And it was late. We walked in again thinking we're so bitching because we just came from a bar. And there's John Paul Jones sitting with a couple of the other guys from his band in the little bar. And I couldn't get myself to talk to him. I recognized him right away, and I couldn't. And the guy, go say hi. I can't. It's John Paul Jones. I just couldn't. Like I couldn't get myself to. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, Scott is a legit rock star. So
oh God, yeah, I've been around rocks, but no. And then oh God, and then the same night, John Paul Jones. So John Paul Jones is in there, and we're in there hanging out, and then this band, the Insane Clown Posse, come in, and they just ruined, and everybody left because they were just being obnoxious and being them. You know, they would just they would
that part of the story is not true.
Weed, and they smelled the girls came in and just it was insane.
Fago.
They have what?
Fago. That's the drink that juggalos love.
Is that? Oh God!
Yeah, the orange soda. Yeah.
Is that what? I don't know, but
yeah,
oh
pretty
my
sure it is.
God! All I remember is walking to we were leaving, and there were condoms and stuff all over the parking lot, and we could hear like the low bass music coming out of the bus, like they were still partying on the bus, and it was morning. Yeah,
they have a weird Kiss connection too, because they're very proud of being from Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, at least Ghostface Killah is a Kiss fan. I have a friend who's a recovering juggalo. I might actually go to a concert this year.
Good
God. Ample amounts of mace and night.
I got sprayed with red pop by some juggalettes before, and they were really scary.
That's what they do, right? They spray the stuff all over the yeah.
Well, they were trying to fill a condom with it. Oh. And then we walked past them and we're like, down with the clown. Me and Blue.
Down with the clown. Oh, I love it.
I don't have any Kiss stories. The only musician I've ever met was Slash.
Oh, really?
I'll tell your Slash story.
Tell your Slash story.
Baby, I was I think 1 or 2 years old, and my mom used to go to this place in LA called the Thunder Roadhouse sometimes on the weekend because she had a friend that worked there, and it's totally demolished now. It was on Sunset over where, you know where Saddle Ranch and stuff is. That's where it used to be.
I do.
It was really cool. A lot of musicians and stuff went there. And I don't know why I was there, but everywhere my mom went, I went. So I was super little. So my mom went there to meet her friend. And then I guess I was walking and toddling about, and I walked up to Slash, who was sitting at the table or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, hey, baby." And then I guess
baby?
Yeah. So my mom was like, "Yeah, Slash held you on his lap."
Literally, baby.
That was my meeting with Slash.
Well, you're so lucky it wasn't Michael Jackson.
Don't say that. No. Hey, baby.
Or Steve Coronel.
Oh, Steve, apparently, yeah, right?
Luckily, it was only Slash.
Wicked.
Thunder, what was it called? Thunder. What?
Baby.
Thunder. What is it called? Thunder Road?
Literally a baby.
The Thunder Roadhouse.
Yeah, I think, you know who I think notoriously hung out there? I think Mickey Rourke.
He did. You're right.
Yeah.
I saw him there before, too. We also.
Did you really? Yeah.
I don't remember because I was an infant. But my mom told the story about how Antonio Banderas was there when he was really young. With wife at the time during Zorro.
Melanie Griffith?
Was that his wife?
I think he was married to her for quite some time. Yeah, yeah.
She told the story about how he was there and his hair was all grown out for Zorro. And she said she walked up to him and lost her nerve, and his wife was looking at her and she's like, "I'm sorry, I have to do this." And she touched his hair and then took off.
I have to do this. Yes.
It was a cool place.
The Thunder Road. But you never met Mickey Rourke?
No. I heard that he was there a lot. And
yeah, notoriously.
His dark time. I think most of his life was
a dark time. His whole life was one big dark time.
He's still in the dark time.
Which dark time are you talking about?
Yeah, which one did you mean?
My favorite Rourke story is that he had all this plastic surgery done, and then because he liked boxing, and then he got in the ring with some guy. Apparently, plastic surgery and getting punched in the face don't mix.
Oh my God!
So he was like Plastic Man. He kind of got his face rearranged a little bit.
Oh my God!
Okay, I have one. My brush with greatness, and then we should try to wrap this up. Unless anybody else can top me on this one. No. That's a challenge. The gauntlet has been thrown. Okay, so. Luckily, somehow, this is early on in Avenged Sevenfold's history. I'm backstage, and they asked me "Oh, you want to go pound on the Rev's drums?" This is when the Rev existed.
Oh yeah, Jimmy. Yeah,
he met his untimely demise.
R.I.P.
Yeah, God rest his soul. And just so generous, the roadies and stuff like that. They also, gosh, I wish I would have taken them up on it. They asked if because I was talking about how you tune the drums and everything.
Yeah.
And they said, because we're all local. We live here in Corona. They said, we'll come by and we'll tune up your drums if you want. I wish I would have taken them up on it. But so I'm just hanging out backstage. And so actually I was on the stage, like, this is before the show started and stuff like that. So then the green room is up these stairs. And so they have the bouncers and stuff at the the venue. And so I kind of missed my cue to go upstairs. So, cause I was with the roadies and stuff, talking about drums and kind of hitting the drums and stuff like that. And so then I went over to the staircase where you go up to the green room, and the guy's like, sorry, you can't go up there. And I was like, what? I'm with, and he goes, yeah, I know. He goes, you're probably the father of one of the band members.
What?
I have gray hair and everything. And so then I said, I am. And he goes, okay, go ahead. So I actually got backstage. You got to hang out even, in a restricted zone, not because I was cool, but just because I was an old man.
That's great.
Son, when you open the door.
Well, the door from that one bouncer, because it was up these stairs, he couldn't have seen anyways. So.
Good Lord. What venue? What was it? Where was it?
I think it was at Long Beach.
Okay.
At the college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should have put up those pictures. Art has pictures with the Sinister Gate and other band members.
Sinister Gate.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the first time like my my old privilege actually
worked.
I'm traded up on it.
Yeah.
Some people have to have like gorgeous bodies or something like that.
I'm just old. Okay, come in. Yeah.
I let myself go a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Okay, so we got a little preview here of what we're going to do next Kiss Corner. But while we're looking for that, what's the next album that we're going to review?
Well, After Alive exactly Destroyer. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh my God.
That'll be an interesting one.
Yes.
I got a feeling that's going to be a love fest too. But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to play this and see what.
I love this. I was just listening to it too.
If you guys have a bad reaction to it.
Bad reaction. I love it.
So that was the garage days. And so each one of us, we're going to have to get Taylor a drum set because three of us all have a similar past.
Yes.
We're all drummers and we all played in garage band. So that was a little snippet of, me in 1982 in a band called Nocturnal Night. And that was like my first real heavy metal band that I had ever played with. And so I think I met you earlier than that, right, Scott?
A little bit. I'm just coming out of TKO. Yeah.
What was your band at the time?
It was with my brother at that Scorcher.
That's yeah. And you guys were a three-piece.
Just a three-piece, yeah.
Rushy, right?
That's
like it. Liked a lot of the Rush stuff.
That's it. The bass player was hardcore Geddy Lee guy.
Yeah. And so what was your first band, Kevin?
First band that played out was, we called ourselves Shaman, however you want to pronounce it. It was with none other than Greg Capul on lead guitar. 1988 to 89, 90, we were playing out in clubs.
Nice.
It's all heavy metal rock, we did ZZ Top, but like Priest and Kiss and Scorpions and
nice.
Riot and stuff like that.
Oh, Riot. I love
Riot.
Yeah.
Swords and Tequila. Yeah.
Yes, that was the song. That was
did you really? Did you really?
Yeah,
That's the best. I love that album.
Like a baby seal or something on the cover.
I never understood the logo. I never got that whole message.
I never did either.
I never did.
That's hilarious.
Taylor, after this, we got to look it up because it's like it says Riot, like it's this killer name, right?
In a baby seal.
Innocent baby seal on the cover.
I never got that. Yeah.
And it wasn't just that cover; it was a lot of their covers.
No, that was like the mascot. Yeah, that was like their thing. I didn't understand.
It was like Eddie. It was like their Eddie.
But a baby seal. Yeah, but it's a baby seal.
Yeah, a white baby seal. So what we're going to do next Kiss Corner is we're not only going to review the follow-up to Alive, which is Destroyer, but we're also going to, and we got to get photos because I did find some photos of my Nocturnal Night days and TKO days. So Scott,
I have a couple. Yeah, I do. Those I have a couple of.
Yeah, start digging now, baby. And and then we'll all show our photos of the day, and then hopefully, do we all have recordings as well?
I do. I have whole shows.
Yeah. Really? You have whole shows, like off the board?
I have whole shows. I do. I've got some audio off the board, and I've got video. One of the girl that was in the band who played rhythm, her boyfriend had a VHS recorder and recorded all our shows. So I got them transferred on disc.
Oh my God!
So I got to somehow upload. Maybe I'll upload it to my YouTube site, not the Kiss site.
Good Lord.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Scott, do you have any Scorcher tapes?
I don't have any Scorcher tapes, but I have bands after that. I have a couple.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless my brother, actually, maybe my brother does.
Do you have photos of you and Scorcher, though?
He does.
Oh, you got to get those.
I think I have a Woodstock flyer and some other. Yeah.
You better get those.
And a Nocturnal Night flyer somewhere.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, with the Xanthar, yeah, on there. Yeah.
Because the barbarian.
Is that what it was? Right? Wasn't it Xanthar, the character?
Probably, yeah. But this will put Scott and I's relationship in like historical perspective. So you get to see Scott in the day and myself in the day, yeah. And then we'll take pictures of Taylor behind my drum kit here.
Nice.
In Kiss makeup.
In full Kiss makeup. It's going to say it's got to be in full Kiss makeup. Got to be.
Way.
All right, you guys. Well, thanks for hanging. And
always fun.
Do we have any parting shots, you guys?
No, I just posted some stuff on Bandmix. I just put up a tune that I did for it was supposed to be for an animated short that didn't happen, but I put the tune up there anyways. It's called Dystopian Drive. It's just an electronic music thing, but I like the way it came out, so I put it up there. And hopefully I'll be putting some other things up there this week. So I'm trying to be more active on the Bandmix up there.
Nice.
Definitely send us the link to that Bandmix.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll turn everybody on.
Okay.
How about you, Kevin? What are you up to?
It's same old stuff. Nothing's changed since last week. I'm I got the YouTube channel up for Kiss Revenge. Got our business cards. Got that taken care of.
Nice.
Working hard on that. Shows coming up. Comic conventions coming up. I'm doing exclusive prints. And the VIP badge for the Great Philadelphia Con that's coming in April. The exclusive print in the VIP badges of none other than Alice Cooper.
Oh, nice!
Right?
What's that?
You're doing the artwork, right?
Yeah, I'm doing the artwork.
Oh,
I'm doing the artwork.
So cool!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
Thanks, man. That was pretty awesome. So
wow.
Hey, Kevin,
hopefully I'll get to meet him, and I'll have some stories there.
There you go, another story, another.
Yeah.
Make sure you take pictures.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to tell Kevin. Kevin's the only one that had his. And Kevin,
I had my Kodak Instamatic back in 1986. So
your Polaroid.
My Polaroid.
Yep. Hey, Kevin. I may be one step closer to getting this Kiss Revenge thing to happen. I just got invited to do a Long Island show. So how far is that from you?
Really? Oh, that's maybe a 3-hour drive. Not bad at all.
Would you definitely take it?
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, that would be awesome.
I don't know if
That'd be so cool.
Scott, but I might be able to finagle Taylor.
That'll be
Tag.
awesome.
Yeah.
We can go there and at least televise, Kevin's show.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, that would be cool.
We'll do a live Kiss Corner from Long Island.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That'd be great.
Concert.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Nice.
And now I'll ask Art Toubert and Tag, what do you have going on?
Oh,
see how I led into that? See?
That was good, Scott.
See? What do you
Nice segue.
Well, yeah, other than this Long Island show that I'm going to try to put together so I can hang out. And Scott, don't get me wrong. I'm going to try to make this all inclusive, man.
Oh, yeah. No, that's awesome.
Thing. We'll all fly out there. I have a feeling, though, that hey, Kevin, I'm just going to throw this out there so when I talk to him, I can, I'll have a better idea of what you guys need. So can you and the band make it out to Long Island? I know that I'm putting you on the spot, but do you think that that's feasible for you guys with all the equipment and everything?
I think it's absolutely feasible. Yeah, I mean, I'll talk to the guys about it, but I don't see any reason why we can't. It's
nice.
Like I said, it's probably I'd have to look it up on Google. It's probably 3-hour drive.
Okay.
I don't see any reason why we can't make it happen.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. And also, would you be willing to do the show?
Yeah, I did the show as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just tell them all those things and just see what they have to say. Yeah. So there might be that. And then Taylor, what are we doing?
Well, we have Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. Is available, of course, in demand on Indiegogo, along with Black and White, which is available in Indiegogo. The link is in the description. And we just added the print bundle B was sold out pretty early. We just added a couple more of those if you guys want to get your hands on those. We passed 56K now. I think we're at 56, almost 300.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're edging into 57K.
We are. So you can go ahead and help push us past that. You can go get your book. And if you're one of the people who missed out on getting print bundle B with all the redheads, go forth and get that. Yeah,
we just reinstated that. So popular demand, we brought that back. I think there's only 10 offered. So they're probably going to go fast because the original bundle did. And for everybody that's ordered Oodles books without, even with some of the print tiers, those books are starting to go out now. So keep an eye out on your post. You may be having a book on your porch soon. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. So should we just recap next week? We have a review of Destroyer, and then we are going to relive our garage days.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
All the musicians out there, ready your questions. Drumming questions, old school band questions. The music scene was very different.
Yes.
Not so long ago. So ready your questions for that.
Yeah, early 80s, early to late 80s, probably the whole decade, right? We probably encompassed the whole 80s, right?
Yeah.
Decade.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, we do go back and read the comments long after this has been done live. So let us know if you guys have any stories meeting the KISS band members, or if you've met any musicians that you looked up to in the past. We want to hear those stories.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good week.
You too.